Why are successful professionals and retirees packing their bags and fleeing certain countries? And how can their stories be an alert for you? I came across very interesting data on the countries with the biggest exodus of millionaires. In the top 7, 2 of them were very curious cases. Today we'll discover why people are leaving these countries and where they are moving to. So let's jump straight to the ranking. The country that lost more millionaires, according to Henley's Partners report, is Russia. Until 2022, Russia had more than 101,000 high net worth individuals. But what is a high net worth individual? They are the residents with a wealth of $1 million or more in investments, not including their own homes. In a single year, 15,000 of them left Russia. That is not a surprise at all, since the exodus happened already after the invasion of Ukraine and now the sanctions. The fear of asset seizures and increased taxation due to the war effort has made staying in Russia less appealing for the wealthy. In fact, since 2022, many billionaires like Andrei Baronov, Vasily Anisimov, or Khatmir Timashev have even renounced their Russian citizenships and adopt the citizenship of other countries like Cyprus. And by the way, I'm considering doing a video about Cyprus, so if you're interested, let me know in the comment section. The second country that lost more wealthy residents is China. And here is more because they have a huge amount of super rich people there. The funny part is that China is technically a communist country, which adds to the irony, right? China has 823,800 high net worth individuals. This is 8 times more than Russia, and more than countries like the UK. And they lost 10,000 of these in only 1 year. In percentage, it's not such a big amount. Still, political instability has been a major driver. Beijing's increasing control and unpredictable policy changes have created an uneasy environment. For the wealthy, this unpredictability is a red flag. Economic concerns are another key factor. China's economic growth has slowed considerably, and with it, opportunities for high returns. Geopolitical tensions add to the mix. Rising US-China friction has led to fears over the future of international business operations because, for the wealthy, maintaining global networks is crucial. The third country that lost more rich residents is India. They lost 8,000 high net worth individuals. Just like with China, India has a lot of wealthy residents, since it's the most populous country in the world. So not much of a surprise they appear in the third place. In the fourth place is Hong Kong. This small nation, or should I say autonomous zone, lost 3,000 high net worth individuals. Since the control over Hong Kong was transferred from the UK to China in the 90s, there was a slow but steady increase in control of Chinese authorities over this small territory. Once it was one of the most economically free places in the world, but now, not anymore. Political uncertainty is a major factor. The 2019 protests and subsequent crackdown left many feeling insecure about their future in Hong Kong. The 2020 national security law has cast a shadow over personal freedoms. Wealthy residents fear the law's implications on their business and personal lives. In essence, the combination of political, economic, and social factors has driven many of the wealthy residents of Hong Kong to seek greener pastures. In the 50th place among the countries that lost more wealthy residents is Ukraine. Ukraine lost 2,800 high net worth residents, which is more than 40% of the total. In percentage, this is the highest among all countries in this ranking. The primary reason is the ongoing Russian invasion. Entire wealthy families left, many seeking better education opportunities for their children abroad. On top of that, war leads to a flight of capital. Proof of that is that Russia also lost a considerable number of its wealthy residents. But the next country on this list, that is the really curious one. Because it's far from a war zone, technically, it's a democratic country with a stable economy and plenty of business opportunities. And still, they are losing so many of its wealthy residents. But before I review it, I would like to ask a small favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. So this country we are talking about is Brazil. Brazil lost 2,500 of all its high net worth individuals in a single year. So in 1 year, 1 in every 50 wealthy Brazilians moved out of the country. In percentage terms, only Russia and Ukraine, 2 countries in a state of war, had worse numbers than Brazil. A few weeks ago, I made a video explaining why you should not move to and retire in Rio de Janeiro. It was a painful video for me to make since I was born in Brazil, and it's not comfortable to reveal some negative truths. It's necessary, however, because my channel has a compromise with reality. The first thing that scares people out of Brazil is violence. That you already know, but this is not the only thing. The Brazilian government is running on a huge deficit. This year, 2024, the public debt in Brazil rose so much that it's higher than the deficit during the COVID lockdowns, when they were giving money for people to stay at home. This huge deficit is creating an unspeakable hunger from the government for more taxes every single week. People in Brazil hear about more taxation, more taxes, new taxes, taxes of all sorts. They even taxed giraffes. Brazil has inheritance taxes, wealth transfer taxes, VAT taxes, import taxes, and many others. And the Brazilian government is even working on creating a sin tax called IS over products they consider sinful. But that's not only about cigarettes and alcohol, as you might think, but also over vehicles, boats, and even soda. Let's be honest, a country where the government is looking for preposterous ways to put their hands in your pocket is not a good country for either high net worth individuals or for expats who want to retire abroad. Still, there are a few bubbles in Brazil that are good for foreign retirees, and recently I made a video about Florianopolis, which is like Brazilian Florida, but Florianopolis is an exception. And closing our list of the countries that are losing their rich residents is the only one located in Western Europe. It's the United Kingdom. They lost 1,500 high net worth individuals in a year. In percentage terms, this is not much, since the UK has an estimated number of 737,600 wealthy individuals. But it's still surprising when you consider that European countries are famous for attracting wealthy people, not for losing them. Portugal, for example, gained 1,300 wealthy expats. These are rich people who decided to move to Portugal, and this is not an isolated case. Greece also gained more than 1,100 rich immigrants. Switzerland received 2,200 extra wealthy residents. And those are only some of the examples. So why the United Kingdom lost its rich residents while other European countries attracted wealthy people? First, the obvious. The US does not have the pleasant weather and splendid coastline Portugal or Greece have, so they cannot attract so many expats who just want to retire close to a beach and drink red wine. I cannot imagine someone doing such a thing in places like Swansea. But Switzerland also does not have any sandy beaches. It has no sea at all. So why did the UK lose its rich while Switzerland attracts them? Let's see some statistics. First, the income taxes for someone earning $200,000 or equivalent per year in the UK is approximately 39.6%. In Switzerland, in many cantons, it never goes above 30%, no matter how much you earn. The inheritance tax in the UK is 40%. In Switzerland, in many cantons, it's 0. But it's not only the tax in cents that the UK looks unattractive. The robbery rate in the UK is 120 per 100,000 people per year, while in Switzerland it's less than 20, meaning 83% lower. The rape rate in the UK is 52 per 100,000 residents per year. In Switzerland it's 8.5, so almost 84% lower, and many other statistics would easily show why the rich are attracted to Switzerland and not to the UK. So you got it. But if all these wealthy former residents from Russia, China, India, Ukraine, Brazil, and the United Kingdom are living, to where are they going? There is one country in the world that is attracting more wealthy individuals than any other. The United Arab Emirates, UAE. In 2024, they are expected to attract 6,700 high net worth new residents. That is more than 4 times the amount the United Kingdom lost. But why? Let's dive into the reasons behind this trend, because there might be some good opportunity here for you. The first thing is that tax-free living is a major draw. The UAE offers zero income tax, making it incredibly attractive for the wealthy. Another good advantage is the absence of wealth taxes. Many countries charge taxes on individuals' total net worth, including property, investments, and other assets. For example, Spain imposes a wealth tax between 0.2 to 2.5% of an individual's net assets. In the UAE, there is no such tax. The UAE also does not have an inheritance tax. As you already know, in the United Kingdom, inheritance tax can be as high as 40%. Safety is another positive aspect. The homicide rate in the UAE is 0.5. This is comparable to Switzerland and lower than countries like Norway or Iceland. In the entire country, there are less than 50 homicides per year. A single city in France, Marseille, has a similar amount of murders. World-class infrastructure is another hook, especially when you consider their transportation network and their state-of-the-art airports. In talking about airports, the strategic location of the UAE is a key factor. It sits at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, making it a global hub to fly to almost anywhere in the world. Political stability in the UAE is also a significant draw. But yeah, they are not a democracy, I know, but you cannot deny that their monarchy is extremely stable. I lived in Qatar for some time, a country very close to the UAE, and I'm not saying that the Emirates is perfect. Far from that. There are cultural and climate aspects that must be taken into consideration, but the low taxes and the other perks are a good reason that the UAE attracts so many wealthy expats. But do you know which other place is quite attractive? Eastern Europe. And no, I'm not joking. Countries like Bulgaria, Cyprus, and a few other unexpected places have a lot to offer. Click on this video here at your left, and you'll be surprised with the high quality of life and low cost of living that countries in Eastern Europe can offer.